which is a cross, and it happened within the first seconds. Matthew put his finger on, no, it wasn't Matthew, it was Brian, put his finger on, in this family we double talk. Did you hear him say that? He didn't say double talk. He said that it was about meat. Meat, M-E-A-T and M-E-E-T. And it was from Matthew, where this happened. All right, double talk. What that says to me is that people in the family cannot talk straight. Now, I was not very long into the interview where I began to feel that there was a massive fear and then a protection that was going on, but that was not manifest in an open way. What was, it was trying to control people. So the bigger kids were trying to control the other people in the interest of mama. The control issue was on the surface. The fear issue was underneath. And so sometimes people might want to work at the control issue. In this kind of situation, I would never work at the control issue, because the control issue is that which is trying to help people live when the real essence of the thing isn't there. In another kind of family, organized differently, I might have worked at something else. And the themes kept repeating themselves over and over again. The need for protection and the way in which it was manifest. I don't know how many of you looked at how Steve began to evolve in the family, and even Matthew. But again, as I was able to tune in to the issues. And now another thing that occurred to me too, and that is, these people at this point in time could not deal in an effective way with the difficulties among them. It's like I had to evolve the strength in the family and give them some ways to do it so we could deal with it. And I don't know whether you noticed it or not, but the piece where Anne, where it was clear that Anne was not able to read how to deal with David, and David wasn't clear about how to deal with her. But on one level of things, they had to, in order to keep this together, they had to behave as though everything was fine. And that's all right. But I want to move it over to something else. So that in a way I was reframing that so that they could begin to do something different. And then David and Anne began to be more real as that progressed. You must have noticed that. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
All right, someone else? I ask people to come up here because for me, I like to practice what I preach. And I'm not far away from anybody when we're doing something important. Your questions are important. So therefore, instead of having somebody way out in the audience, I like you to have them come up here where we all can then bathe in the connection with the human beings. Because one of the things that happens is people don't practice what they preach. And I wouldn't be practicing that if I talked to you back there. It would be just an academic exercise. So, come on. Doesn't take that long to walk up and look at the exercise you get. Thank you for doing that. And you are?
I'm Bill.
Bill. Hi, Bill.
Hi. I'd like to know if you're working with this family is typical of your style on an ongoing basis, or if this is more consultation style, or if there's any real difference, and kind of how your therapy with this family might evolve if you were seeing them on an ongoing basis.
All right, let me put on my prophecy glasses, okay? See, for me, everything is in terms of what is now, and then what opens up, and then what else happens. I can see down the road, not very far, where the issues of difference and disagreement have to be faced in this family, because they are basic to how people can grow in the family. And so there would be then something else happening. See, again, you know, we start by saying hello. Okay, now I'm not going to go in the world saying hello all the time, every time all day long. But that's an opening for something. And what I look for are the strengths. I work always on developing power in people, empowerment, so that we can deal with the rough things that come up. And one of the things would be the way in which they handle aggression and in which they and disagreement. So that would be the next thing.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for the question. But they're just full of energy. And if someone knew how to connect with that, that's what I tried to do, then all kinds of marvelous things can happen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, come. Then thank you for coming up here. Keep my life from being too lonely.
Yeshaya,
Hi.
I realized that you knew about the loss of the child. I was wondering why you didn't deal with it in any great length.
Because that's been dealt with over and over again. And one of the things is you can milk a loss to death.
So you knew about that.
I knew that from Terry, and I also knew in the family, because I simply asked them, where is that now? And I did not get any kind of messages that said there was anything there at this moment. This is a chronic kind of thing at this moment. So you give me an opportunity to say something very important. For I think it's important, maybe nobody else does.
Yeshaya it is.
Ashaya, yeah. Okay, Ashaya. Ah, very good. And that is that I tend to avoid juice, the juicy stuff in families. The sexual things and, the things that make people feel juicy. Because I think those are only outcomes of coping. And you can get so much into that juicy stuff, so quote and unquote, the dramatic stuff, that the coping gets lost. Just very briefly, my attention was called to a young man, 33 years old, in one of the California hospitals when I was doing so much in the California state hospitals. And they said that this young man was crazy because he killed his mother in a car accident. Well, that's true. He was driving a car, and it was rainy, and mother was killed. However, what was behind that and before that was really the essence of it. Because there was the mother had come to pick him out of school to have him go to court to testify against his father. And he and the mother and the father had married at the point of a shotgun by her father because she was pregnant. So I was able to help this man return to sanity when I got off the juicy stuff and got into the coping stuff. So I more or less let the juice go by. That's for other magazines, more or less. You're welcome. Thank you. All right. Because what we always take with us and how it shows at any moment in time is the coping. And that's what I keep my eyes on, not the outcome of the coping. The outcome tells me what the nature of the coping is. So I hear just enough, and then I go for the coping things. And that is related to the self-esteem, and I see it in the communication, and then I look at it in terms of the systems. And so those are they're like the red light in the car when your gas goes low or your oil goes low or your tires are doing something funny, whatever red lights they have. They are signals to say, look, something is out of balance. Something needs attention. And that's the way I look at the juicy stuff. And then I look at what kind of attention is it called. Because I found that that's most useful for me. All right, I think we have time for another question. One more. Who will that be? Who will be the last one today? I see someone coming. Come.
We know each other, Virginia.
Hi.
I'm Ann Hoffman.
Hi, Ann Hoffman.
I want to thank you once again for letting us see the way you love people, and that helps them to love each other. And I think it's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. And as the last one up here, it looks like it's the right time. We have to stop. Let me give you a big hug. And wait, Ann, and while I'm doing that, I would like everybody in the audience to find somebody to hug. Go ahead, find them. And get all the skin you can. Don't sit down and do it. Stand up. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Long time since Starweather Ranch in Idaho.
I know. Okay. Oh, thank you. Well, my friends, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for your coming. I could feel your energy in that room. And I thank you for your questions, and thank you for you.